And let me get this audio situation together. Let's see. I don't know if I might connected or what. Black as day. Let's see. Who's told this self-driving truck? Do I even got audio on this thing? Oh, it ain't no audio on the video. That's what that is. Okay, I see what's going on.
Kodiak Robotics, he's here. Don, you look like you're 25. Congratulations and welcome. And why is it called Kodiak?
Oh, thank you. Well, Kodiak, it was one of those things where we were looking for a name that was had the right feel to it. You
know, we gotta see what these guys talking about out here. Just got a little field research, seeing what's going on in this oil field, checking for some jobs and seeing what the money like out there, just in case I want to go out there. You know what I'm talking about? I've been sending these self-driving videos, these self-driving trucks. Anything to get people away from their money, huh? Does the self-driving truck scare me? You kidding me? Mr. Wallace in the building. How you doing, Mr. Wallace?
The Kodiak bear is the largest and most aggressive bear in the world. And also there's a Kodiak plane, which is kind of like a hauling plane. So we kind of felt like there was a little bit of a twist there.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that. I was thinking more like Alaska connection. So these are, we should say, they're not on the road in West Texas. They're being used in West Texas. What can they do and what powers this technology?
Well, Kodiak's Robotruck is a revolution in the way goods are moved. So as you said, there's no longer a driver in the cab. These trucks are moving completely on their own. This has been promised for over a decade, and now it's finally here and it's being deployed in production. These trucks can go to where the owner tells them to go. So we work with a customer called Atlas Energy Solutions, and they have an interface that they can say, go pick up goods here, go drop it off there, and they're moving sand for Atlas out in West Texas.
But not on the highways. Like, I'm not going to drive down the highway. These are not approved on the highways yet, I imagine.
Not yet. So the technology is effectively the same as what we use on the highway. We actually work with a bunch of great companies for highway delivery as well. There we still have a safety driver. We're working with folks like JB Hunt and Warner Enterprises and IKEA. And so the technology is right around the corner. It'll be on the highways before you know it.
Yeah. So which technology? There's LiDAR and what's the other one? And this is the whole fight between, Tesla and Waymo, right?
Yeah, so we use the more of the Waymo sensor suite approach. We have camera, we have LiDAR, we have radar. That we think that those sensors all have really important strengths to actually keep the truck safe. For instance, out in the desert, there's a lot of dust. Radar sees right through that dust, and so it's a very powerful sensor. But we have an end-to-end AI solution that's powering this system. It really is state-of-the-art, and it's able to drive in a variety of diverse environments, including over the road on the highway, surface streets, and then, as you see here, off-road environments.
Who created and developed that self-driving technology? Is it you guys or is it a third party?
That's our core business. We are the creators of the AI software that does the driver. So the one significant thing about this announcement is that it's the first time a customer is actually owning and operating the vehicle. So we're not running the assets like other autonomous fleets that you might know of. We purely work on the AI software. That's our proprietary system.
Mm-hmm. Self-driving trucks, huh? What is this one?
While there's a safety driver behind the wheel, these trucks are operating completely autonomously. They belong to Aurora, a self-driving technology company hoping to launch with no one in the cab by next year.
Today, if you want to take strawberries from California to Dallas, it takes about 3 days. With the Aurora driver, you'll be able to do that in about 24 hours.
Self-driving trucks can see better, they can see further, they're not getting tired, they can operate 24/7.
That means that a truck that could normally do 450 or 500 miles a day could do 1,000 to 1,100 miles a day. That significantly increases the profitability of running.
Yep, they gonna get rid of these lease drivers. Yep. They're not relying on these right now. They're relying on lease drivers to do these 1,100 miles a day, but you need a lease driver for when Aurora right here, it's gonna put down 1,100 miles with no problem, and it ain't gonna argue with the brokers. Yep, they about to take up for the lease driver. I mean, shoot, but you need a lease driver to go from one side of the planet to the other when you got Aurora for the same cost. Look, same trailer, same truck, just ain't nobody driving it. And I bet the price of this truck is not gonna be no 300,000 and 400,000. That look like they still gonna sell it for 150. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
That truck.
The introduction of autonomy in trucking could have a major impact on the industry.
Our economy runs on the trucking industry. As the industry says, if you bought it, a truck brought it.
It's a huge ecosystem with over like $1 trillion of spend just in the US.
The pandemic highlighted the importance of supply chain, and demand has only continued to climb.
Goods movement probably doubled over the last 3 years, and the whole industry has been sort of racing to have enough capacity.
CNBC went behind the scenes with Aurora to see its self-driving operation in Texas.
We've driven right around about 500,000 miles pulling loads for customers. I think we're over 1,800 trailers delivered.
It has been a challenging road for self-driving trucks, with several startups throwing in the towel. The technology has taken far longer to realize than initially anticipated. And even as driverless cars hit the roads, it is yet to be seen how well they'll function in the wild.
Across the industry, many folks expect that it will take a couple of years before we'll even see point-to-point deliveries without the help of engineering talent.
I think it's tremendous opportunities for driver assist and improved safety, less driver fatigue, but I cannot see 80,000-pound trucks in my lifetime running up and down the road just as harmless, gentle giants.
You can get a ride in a self-driving vehicle in San Francisco. You can get one in Phoenix. We're on the road pulling loads for customers every day. This will be the next transformation in that space, and it's going to make it easier to get around. It's going to make it safer to get around.
Aurora was founded in 2017 by several self-driving industry experts. Sterling Anderson, who previously headed Tesla's autopilot division, Drew Bagnell, who led perception and autonomy at Uber, and Chris Urmson, who helped start and led Waymo at Google.
We're on the mission to deliver the benefits of self-driving technology safely, quickly, and broadly.
In 2020, it acquired Uber's self-driving unit and received a $400 million investment in exchange for 26% of the combined company. Aurora plans to work together with Uber for ride-hailing of its self-driving cars.
Uber and Dara, they want to focus on building the network. How do you connect people with the means to get where they want to go? We want to focus on building the driver. And so for both of us, as we talked about the deal, it just made too much sense not to do.
The following year, Aurora went public through a SPAC, raising $2 billion. The company spent the first few years working on autonomy for cars, but had its eye on trucking as well.
Cars are a lot easier to operate, but we knew that the software and the system was ultimately going to have to work on trucks as well. We saw that as a huge opportunity, and so we designed that in.
Aurora says its autonomous system will bring a number of advantages over a human driver behind the wheel.
It'll improve fuel efficiency. By driving at 65 miles an hour versus 75 miles an hour, something like 20-25% improvement in fuel economy. It doesn't get distracted, it doesn't get tired. There's huge safety benefits. There's about 500,000 accidents a year that trucks are involved in, and we think we can reduce that dramatically.
From a consistency of reliability perspective, I think it will help kind of deliver a more consistent service. We're expecting to be able to kind of get a level of utilization out of the vehicle that we just don't see today in traditional transportation.
The company plans to offer its autonomous truck system as a subscription.
If you're FedEx, for example, you'll call up PACCAR and you'll say, I'd like to buy a Peterbilt 579, which is one of these trucks, and I'd like to buy it with the Aurora driver installed on it. We expect the Aurora driver to cost comparable to what a human driver costs. This is one of our self-driving trucks over here. It's got a combination of lasers, radar, and camera that allow it to see the world. If you look up at the top here, the kind of oval-looking thing in the middle, that's our proprietary First Light LiDAR. That allows us to see out on the road further than anyone else can. We can see 400 plus meters.
Aurora says its self-driving trucks are feature complete and are now undergoing testing to refine the software.
At the end of the first quarter, we reached the milestone of the Aurora driver having everything that it needs to be able to run autonomously. Our goal now is to make those capabilities better and better through the end of this year as we skate towards that 2024 goal of commercialization.
Texas, it's the largest U.S. intercontinental freight market. Almost 15% of all freight in the U.S. is moving on that Texas triangle, so Dallas, Houston, San Antonio.
Also happens to be next to our most important trading partner, which is Mexico. So it plays a vital role into.
So people think these semi trucks and this autonomy ain't real, but they got the technology because I see it with the Tesla cars. I'm gonna show y'all a video on the Tesla side.
Chris and Stephanie here. We're going for an hour-long FSD drive. Offered Stephanie the driver's seat, but she didn't want it. But I'm showing you the.
Don't forget to close the garage.
Well, we'll do it from the phone because I don't have the garage door opener in here yet. The beginning of the drive, getting out of the driveway, because FSD 13.2.9 on the new Model Y is actually really good at it. You can see it just could flow right out of the driveway, around the dirt roundabout, and continue on our journey here. So I will check in with you in just a minute when we get a little farther out. All right, so we are heading out for about an hour-long drive. No highway on this whole route. It's all going to be windy back roads. There is?
Yep.
What
We're
part?
going to get on 75, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was closed.
It's closed up until exit 91. We're getting on, I think, at exit 91.
Oh, okay. So there's some how much highway? So I guess we just look. All right, I thought there was no highway. Oh, okay. So right in the middle there's a small section of highway. Most of it is back roads, though. A lot of higher speed, 60 mile per hour roads. We will go through a roundabout up here and some slower, like 25, 35 mile per hour stuff that hopefully the system will obey. But you could see getting out of that left turn, we just zoom right up to this 59 miles an hour is just perfect for this road. Speed limit of 55. Regular person who lives here is going to travel faster than that. Not that you have to, but it's just kind of the right, most comfortable speed. And then the other thing I really want to pay attention to throughout this full drive is, I'm going to guess I won't have to do anything, but if I do, I will. The efficiency is the other thing I really want to pay attention to here, because not only is this Model Y, I'm noticing, really efficient, the other part is that I'm noticing FSD itself is doing a really good job lately of like using the regen instead of the brakes, which older versions were always really bad at. Now, I still think like if I'm driving and concentrating and trying, I could probably use the regen a little bit more and a little bit better than FSD does. But for the most part, like, I don't know, I would say like 90% of it is like as good as me. And at that point, it's kind of like, who cares? You're not really losing that much in terms of efficiency. Especially letting the car do all the driving for you is so convenient, on top of having that really good efficiency. Because if it's using the brakes all the time, it's not, it kind of like takes away from the benefits of using the system. So how have you been liking it so far? You're using it in your 2023 Y, like all the time now?
Yes.
And it's doing even turns and stuff, or
yes.
Half the turns, or what do you think?
Most of the turns. Honestly, the issue I run into is like the complete stops. I know that's like terrible to say, but like, so if a lot of my driving is on roads just like this, and so when I'm making a turn, it's like you've got to like inch forward, like what is?
Jeez.
You've got to like inch forward, look, and then go.
Now, see, most people will say, well, Andrew, okay, that's out in the country, man. Of course, the car works out in the country. But then you flip over here and here in New York. If I work in New York, there is no way in the world. No way in the world if they got self-driving cars working perfectly in New York, if they can't get a semi truck to go down the road. Man, all right, Mr. Wiles, we'll catch you later.
All right, we're ready to go. The car has to stay to the left as it goes up onto the entrance ramp here to the FDR. We have some direct sun. See if the car throws up the red hands. So far, so good. Sun's right in my eyes and right in the camera's eyes. It's also 25 degrees out today with a wind chill of like 10, so very cold.
So as y'all can see, the self-driving truck, man, it's not a joke. It's just a matter of when and how long we got. Because first people I see buying this self-driving truck, of course, is the Russians. That's the first people that I see just, I'm talking about just in a rush to buy this truck. What Russian company is not going to take all the risk in the world to have a self-driving truck go down the road? Man, please, Super Ego and the rest of them people up there in Bolingbrook, Illinois, I'm talking about the second they can order one, best believe. Because they already got the brand new truck sitting up there right now. Think about it, they got 2025, 2026. They already got all the brand new trucks. So the minute the truck can self-drive itself, oh boy, lease drivers are in trouble. Lease drivers are in trouble. They ain't got no house. They ain't talking about getting no house. They ain't got no car. They ain't got no assets. They ain't got $1 in the stock market. And boy, they job in jeopardy. And the only thing, if self-driving trucks came out today, what are we gonna do? Is it back to McDonald's we go? Man, you can't. Hey, man, wait a minute, hold on. Y'all must not know how bad the job market is outside of this trucking industry. Give me a second, man. Let me continue playing this video.
The U.S. economy.
We knew that the place to be was Texas. It's the heart of freight in the U.S. The road right here is about 4,500 trucks a day.
Aurora has been training its trucks on routes between Dallas and Houston and Dallas and El Paso. They drive fully autonomously with safety drivers behind the wheel ready to take over if something goes wrong. It is hoping to remove drivers altogether by the end of 2024. Trucks start and stop their trips at terminals out.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Did y'all hear that date? Wait a minute, we gotta scroll that back. What did he just say?
The road right here is about 4,500 trucks a day.
Aurora has been training its trucks on routes between Dallas and Houston and Dallas and El Paso. They drive fully autonomously with safety drivers behind the wheel ready to take over if something goes wrong. It is hoping to remove drivers altogether by the end of 2024.
There it is right there. They're a little bit late. They kind of off schedule just a little bit. They off schedule just a little bit. See, they didn't say 2028, 2020, 40, 2060. These fools was talking about removing you out the truck at the end of last year. Oh boy, whew. Hard on the truck driver, boy. They hard. Have anybody seen these trucks and trailers in Texas? Yeah, I ain't been to Texas in a minute. Anybody seen this Aurora company? Do we got anybody go through Texas seeing these folks? I ain't never seen. It's the first time I heard them. Boy, they talking about they wanted you out the truck at the end of last year. Ooh-wee. Oh, I'm telling you, we got to get some. We gotta get some assets over here in the stock market. We need some stock because, oh my God, boy, can you imagine if they put you out the truck right now? What on earth, truck driver, are you supposed to do? McDonald's already filled up. And it says they are in Texas on I-20 in Dallas. And it said he already seen them. Boy, where we gonna go, truck driver? Forklift, we can't do forklift. The forklifts drive themselves. Yeah, the forklifts drive themselves. So is it McDonald's, Walmart slam pack? You ain't going to Walmart. They try to get rid of you. McDonald's tired of seeing you now. They finna get Flippy in there. Have y'all seen Flippy? Y'all think, okay, well, Andrew, I just go flip burgers again. You must ain't seen Flippy. Let me show you Flippy. Flippy robot. Where is Flippy at? Flippy, huh? They've been working on Flippy for a minute. I'm gonna show y'all Flippy. Is this Flippy right here?
I am Tony Lomolino. We're at Cali Burger Pasadena. I am going to be cooking some burgers with Flippy, and I'll be placing the beef onto the grill.
Wait a minute. He said he gonna be cooking the burgers with Flippy. I guarantee if you go right now to this same burger joint in Pasadena, Flippy is still there, but him, please. I guarantee he ain't got no job no more. And they went up $12 an hour. Flippy's still working. He ain't.
These are fresh, never frozen. Flippy is already detecting them in the background. All right, and then so for now, I'm gonna salt the burgers. That is something Flippy will do in the future. Then now I gotta get the buns ready for our burgers as they're cooking. I'm seeing kind of what Flippy is seeing. Yeah, so I get a warning of when he needs to move and stuff like that, so I can plan my time appropriately. Yeah, so they normally cook for 4.5 minutes. And Flippy is using time at the moment. It's kind of cool because it's a little bit of a dance with Flippy because I kind of have to follow his lead, whereas when I'm in the kitchen with regular staff, we coordinate with each other. So it is kind of fun. A little quicker, he doesn't mess up as much. Yeah, well, the funny thing is when you watch him scrape the grill after these burgers are done, he actually does it better than my average employee. So Flippy just, he switched from the spatula he had on was the spatula that you use for raw proteins. The one that he switched to is the ones for cooked proteins so that we're able to isolate any pathogens. Now,
So you see that Flippy right there. I don't know about that Flippy. That Flippy right there requires other workers. Nah, they got another Flippy. They got the updated version of Flippy. Maybe this is it
The
right here.
burgers at this Los Angeles fast food restaurant are classic, but the workers may be the future. Cali Express touts itself as the world's first fully autonomous restaurant.
Okay, you're gonna help me get Wally to make me a burger, is that right?
From facial recognition as you order.
So go ahead and put in your order.
Okay. So we'll do the burger with everything and some raw onion, of course.
To the robot chefs behind the counter, almost every.
Didn't I tell you? Now, where is the worker at? The worker is gone. Flippy's still there. Ooh, I'm telling you, man. See, at first they tricked him. They was like, okay, we put the robot in. You just watch over the robot. You do the maintenance work. That's how they tricked the worker. A couple of months down the road, the worker gone, Flippy's still there. That's what they're gonna do with semi-truck. Everybody thinking, okay, what's gonna happen when they get the self-driving semi-trucks? Okay, they're gonna hire you to get behind the wheel and be the safety driver in case of that stuff. Yeah, they probably will. And the first 3 months, by the fourth month, you gone. Yeah, by the fourth month, you gone. Truck driving self.
Everything here is made by machines. The fries by a robot called Flippy.
Flippy is using his robot arm to grab a basket. He's going to bring it over here to this freezer, and we'll dispense an order of fries into it. Because a robot arm is just a robot arm, but the secret sauce here is the AI that really powers it.
And for the main course, there's the burger bot, grinding the meat fresh, forming patties, and grilling to order.
As it spins around and as it gets to the end, it'll scoop it up and it'll dump it into this bucket.
Major chains are already starting to bite into AI and automation. Wendy's experimenting with AI-powered drive-thrus.
Welcome to Wendy's. What would you like?
Salad chain Sweetgreen has salads rotating through automation. Chipotle even has robots building its burrito bowls.
What would you say to people that say, listen, this is taking away jobs?
Restaurants have a really hard time finding workers, and it costs them a lot to have those workers, so you want to be very...
Y'all hear that line? Rewind it back. Y'all hear that line? Listen to this nonsense.
And it costs them a lot to have those workers.
Jobs.
Restaurants have a really hard time finding workers.
Y'all hear that line? Restaurants got a real hard time finding workers. You see, that's the sale right there. That's the sale. That's to make you feel better. Yeah, man, we couldn't find nobody want to flip burgers, so we had to build this robot. You kidding me, man? Do you know how many? If they put a for hiring sign up right now, is this California? And they got to pay $20 an hour. What you mean they having a hard time finding workers at $20 an hour in California? Please, man, the folks need workers right now, right now.
And it costs them a lot to have those workers, so you want to be very thoughtful about.
Oh, okay. See, first he hit us with that they can't find workers. Then the truth came out. They don't want to pay the workers. You see how the truth came out after the lie. The lie was they can't find no workers. Then the truth was they ain't trying to pay all this money to workers. Okay, we got you there. We got you. We got you.
Where you put those workers, because working the fry station is a pretty undesirable job. It's dangerous. You burn your arms.
Automation will likely eliminate some jobs.
Did y'all hear that nonsense?
Dangerous. You burn your arms.
Automation.
Thoughtful about where you put those workers, because working the fry station is a pretty undesirable job. It's dangerous. You burn your arm.
The fry machine is too dangerous to be putting y'all peasants over there buying. Come on, man. People get burnt by the fry machine. The fry machine is dangerous, and y'all hear all these reasons why they had to get Flippy up in here.
Automation will likely eliminate some jobs. That may be inevitable. They didn't choose that it's 30%.
But Brian Justy, who researches labor practices at UCLA, warns an all-robot kitchen may not be on the menu anytime soon.
I think there's a kind of significant smoke and mirrors trick happening here where you get claims of full automation.
Because even at what they call the world's first fully autonomous restaurant, there's Genoveva.
The robot helps me out a lot, and then I help the robot in turn.
Nah. See, nah. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. First of all, they just sold us Flippy working an entire restaurant by itself. Now they go down the street and find Migo there who they bought Flippy, but they still got the one owner. See, she the owner. You know, don't get this. She is the owner of this store. She working in the store with Flippy because she owned it. She done bought the franchises as her store. They done went down the road. They try to, wait a minute now. Flippy ain't taking over like y'all think. Just look at this. Just look at this restaurant right here. It only got one person. Where's the rest of the staff? If it ain't taking over, where is everybody else? I see one person up here. Let me rewind it back a little bit. Watch how they try to play it off.
A mirrors trick happening here where you get claims of full automation.
Because even at what they call the world's first fully autonomous restaurant, there's Genoveva.
The robot.
Wait a minute. It's
helps me out.
One person here. What are you talking about? Is one person? What restaurant can you go to right now that got one person working it? Other than all these with the Flippies, but over here in Tennessee, there ain't no one person restaurant around here. Unless it's like I don't know, 1 in the morning at Subway or somebody truck stop. That's about the only way you gonna find a one-person restaurant around here. Subway and a truck stop.
A lot, and then I help the robot in turn.
She makes these burgers whole, adding toppings and, of course, the bun. Something these robots haven't quite mastered yet.
All right, let's try this. Not bad.
A bite into the future, whether we're ready or not. Elwin Lopez, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us.
So as y'all can see, that autonomy, man, they got it over in the restaurants, they got it in the Tesla cars, and they working on getting you out of business with the semi truck. So what I'm saying is, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. I said, what are we gonna do at the truck driver? Let me read these comments. I saw somebody had posted something. There it is right there. Plumbing, electrician, HVAC. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I think see people my age in this trucking industry, man, we need a backup plan. The only thing I would say to people my age right now, still in their 20s and stuff like that, man, I would use this trucking to put as much money in something that grows over time, stock market, or get your barber shop or car wash, a mechanic shop, something that can run the next 20 years. Because that's why I wouldn't be spending no money in no truck. I wouldn't be out here trying to get no 200,000. Would you go out and buy a $200,000 brand new truck and they got this crap right here? Wait a minute, in case you just came in.
4. Trucks start and stop their trips at terminals outside of the cities, where the customer will drop or pick up a trailer and complete the urban part of the delivery.
Terminals are where we base our autonomous vehicles, and also where we do scaling, fueling, downloading software. We have maintenance on site. Our goal is to, over the course of the next 10 to 20 years, to grow our network across the United States.
So we're here at our Palmer, Texas hub. This is the first automated truck hub on the planet. We have about 15 trucks operate out of here, about 10 of them running every day. We've got scales on the ground. We can use these big QR codes to calibrate the truck just to make sure everything's good with the sensors, and then we can get it out on the road.
When a AV arrives in a landing zone, our end goal is to turn that vehicle around and get it back out as soon as possible. We fully envision this to be a 24/7 facility in the very near future.
Aurora's model is interesting. It's probably the likely model that we see initial autonomous trucking experiences take place.
We've got an operator whose job it is to pay attention to what's happening on the road around us.
For the first 3 months, you sit in this driver's seat, $10 an hour. By the 4th month, I guarantee you, whoever this is sitting in this seat, they ain't gonna be there no more. They is not gonna be there no more.
And on the right seat up here, we have another operator whose job is to pay attention to what the Aurora driver's thinking.
While on these missions, we will take notes of the truck's performance. I remember when we first...
Y'all hear that voice? Nah, he sound like an electrical engineer or some type of programmer. Yeah, he ain't no truck driver. He programming. She over there just in case. See, they got her over there just for the sake of this video. The dude over here to the right, he's a programmer. He sound like he the one that did 5 years in college. Yeah, he making $200,000. She making $10 an hour. Yeah, that's what's going on right here. He doing all the programming.
We started in surface roads in Houston. We used to have problems making left turns, right turns when there's a lot of traffic. But in the past couple of months, that's been a lot better now.
Aurora first started hauling loads for customers in 2021, working with companies such as FedEx, Uber Freight, Schneider, and Werner.
We haul something like 50 loads a week right now, and we'll be growing that over the course of the year. It's not really about making money at this point. It's really about making sure that the product we're building actually serves its purpose.
We've moved hundreds of thousands of miles and probably close to over 7 million pounds of cargo that we had moved on those Texas lanes.
We'll start here between Dallas and Houston, and then quickly we'll add Dallas to El Paso. and then we'll grow east and west across the Sun Belt and then ultimately across the United States.
Aurora expects expanding to future markets to be easier and faster, with the autonomous trucks capable of adapting to new regions.
So there'll be small amounts of incremental validation we do, but basically it'll be a copy-paste. And we're going to work with our customers to figure out where's the most useful place for us to go next.
There have been dozens of companies that have started up with the hope to create autonomous trucking operations. But really over the last 12 months, we've seen a number of those companies shut down.
Several startups working on self-driving trucks have struggled. Starsky Robotics, one of the earlier companies to focus on self-driving trucks, closed up shop in 2020. Embark, another early entrant focused on trucks, laid off 70% of its staff earlier this year, eventually selling its technology to Applied Intuition for $71 million. And Too Simple, a San Diego-based autonomous truck startup founded in 2015, is leaving the US market to focus on China and Asia.
We really expected that most companies were going to fail, and so from day one we've been thinking about how do we make sure we survive.
All of this has been expensive. Aurora lost $1.7 billion last year.
It's not yet proven to be commercially viable, so it requires an enormous amount of capital investment just to basically operate and continue to move its R&D function along. It's going to be a long road before investors get any real payback.
Even if autonomous trucks succeed, they will be bound by regulators, potentially restricting where they can operate.
One of the realities of having autonomous trucking is that you need the regulatory environment and framework to be supportive of it. What happens if a state like Texas or Kansas or Illinois or California passes laws that actually prohibit autonomous trucks? We've seen situations where state legislatures can be very activist, particularly taking a standpoint of pro-labor in recent years.
California lawmakers are advancing a bill requiring safety operators behind the wheel of heavy-duty autonomous trucks.
We've worked with the folks at the Department of Transportation at a federal level, with NHTSA, with FMCSA. We've worked with the California DOT, and we spend time meeting with policymakers and legislators as well, so that they can understand the opportunity and the risks.
A lot of questions remain about who is responsible if an autonomous truck gets into an accident. The trucking companies themselves have a lot of questions, and if anyone understands the liability of running trucks, it's the trucking companies. They have been subject to these massive amounts of lawsuits.
Then there is the concern from drivers.
I've talked to my colleagues about, and they're worried about getting replaced by a machine.
Autonomous trucks are incredibly controversial for truck drivers because they fear that their jobs could immediately go away. And while that's unlikely to happen, it's certainly going to stir an enormous amount of emotion among the driver population.
Working as a truck driver is a challenging profession with high turnover.
The average truck driver in the US 20 years ago was 35, 10 years ago it was 45, now it's 55.
The driver shortage.
55 years old, they get into trucking. That's how you know the job market outside of trucking is bad, boy. Can't find a job at McDonald's, Walmart ain't hiring, the warehouse ain't hiring. Can't be no substitute teacher, but one thing we do know right now, no matter how old they get, they can come over to trucking. Them Russians, I'm telling you, them Russians got a truck for you. As long as you agree to pay the truck note, trailer, 250 escrow, FD, ELD, administrative fee, and whatever other fee Vladimir can come up with. As long as you can pay all that, you got a job for you. Now the job may not pay you no money afterwards.
Shortage has been talked about forever, but it's really a retention problem because every year there's 450,000 new CDLs. Many of them are called 90-day wonders. After 90 days, this is not for me.
Spending hours on the road, it's very exhausting. Also, you don't get to spend much time with your loved ones. You don't get the work-life balance also.
Aurora sees its autonomous trucks helping alleviate the driver shortage and doing some of the harder parts of the job.
Drivers, instead of doing long drives, there would be more drivers doing short local deliveries. I worked in the oil and gas, and we used to drive about 70 hours a week. And I know I've seen a lot of drivers tired and fatigued while driving. But now coming to Aurora, we're building this technology that will help drive.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. This brother said he was doing what? I worked in the oil and gas industry, and we used to drive about 70 hours a week. So this fool, I guess after the oil field dried up, he said, man, I need to just figure out how to get rid of truck drivers altogether. So he just done switched to the other side. Oh, switched to the other side. Can't blame him. The stock is 588. Oh, you must be talking about the Aurora stock. Yeah. Boy, this trucking.
And I know I've seen a lot of drivers tired and fatigued while driving. But now coming to Aurora, we're building this technology that will help drivers drive less on the road, less accidents.
It says that there will be lots of ancillary jobs to support self-driving operations as well.
Think about it like airport command centers where planes come in and they tell them where to land and things like that. So we have drivers like me who look forward to working in those departments.
And even with autonomous trucks on the roads, they won't replace drivers entirely.
You don't see anybody talking about autonomous trucking north of Interstate 40 where the snow falls. And the kind of trucking that I do, I'm pretty sure it will never be replaced by autonomous trucks.
We see automated driving complementing people driving. And my expectation is that if you are a truck driver today,
you know, I hear it all the time, man, how certain truck drivers think that the autonomy ain't gonna replace them because of what they holler. This is how they do it in the oil field. Y'all seen it with the pneumatics, okay? This is how they do it. I just seen pneumatic freight for the oil field on DAT load board to where they pay you to basically hook up to the pneumatic trailer, go drop it off at the well site, and they got the fracking crew unload the trailer. So if you do any type of tanker work, fuel hauling, frac sand with a pneumatic tank, food grade tanker, they'll have that crap driving itself. And when they get to the destination, they will have somebody unload. They have a human unload the trailer, or a human unstrapping the flatbed load, or like a unchain. What it? Man, they will have a human right there waiting to do all that shoe shine. Now, real quick, man, I'm gonna need everybody to switch over. We're gonna go over
Back
Pocket Watcher.
on the way that they spend their money.
We're gonna go over the Pocket Watching channel. I'm gonna get up off this live stream. I need y'all to go check out Pocket Watching with JT. We're gonna jump over there and see what's going on over there. Certified CPA. So if anybody need a CPA for this trucking thing, y'all go over there to his channel. Okay, we on live feed right now. Okay, I don't want to get no copyright.
It's extremely hard for employers to say we're going to keep the same staff. Now, the way that they do it is still still not good. But basic economic theory dictates that when a business loses a certain percentage of the services and goods or whatever that they're selling, they're going to start looking at the employment and say, hey, we need to start cutting these jobs because they're not really doing anything because there's no work for them to do. Let me bring up a caller. We do have a caller in the back. We have Tanya. Tanya is in the back. So let me bring you up and see what you got to say. So, Tanya, you're live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
Good evening, JT. Yeah, I just want to say something about this situation. I did lose my job back in 2015, and we know about the financial impact, but let's talk about the emotional impact. It's very
And the link is in the comment section, y'all. I'm gonna switch over to his channel, his live feed. Y'all go over there, Pocket Watching with JT. That's what we're gonna be at. Let me put up his channel again. We go live right now. There you go. Subscribe. I'm gonna go and watch his live feed because I need to know what's going on outside this trucking. You see, it's the ain't just hard on the truck driver, they hard on the whole world right now. They even hard on them folks in California. What they got going on in California real quick before I get up off here? Let me see if they get even hard in California. What's going on there? What's going on? Check what Migo got going on. Right in LA. Is National Guard out there yet? Let me see what Migo got going on out there. Let me see. Hold on right quick. Let me check on Migo. What is Migo doing?
Southern California over recent ICE arrests. This video showing the violent confrontations outside a federal building in downtown LA. Police cracking down on protesters, declaring it an unlawful assembly, ordering the crowd to go home. This is the second day of chaos and vandalism. Tonight, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem warning the protesters, "You will not stop us or slow us down." All of this as the man mistakenly deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is now back in the U.S. facing charges now, accused of transporting undocumented migrants. His attorney calling the charges, quote, preposterous. ABC's senior reporter Catherine Faulders leads us off tonight.
Tonight, protests escalating into conflict in Los Angeles as the Trump administration's aggressive deportation efforts spark fear and outrage across the country. For the second consecutive day, angry crowds clashed with law enforcement following a series of ICE raids that drew condemnation from local leaders.
You cannot just come into the community and terrorize citizens the way you.
Anyways, y'all, we over here at Pocket Watching channel, man. Y'all go subscribe. Jump into the live feed. You live right now. Y'all call in too. Yeah, y'all call in. Let me know y'all truck driver. Yo, right now, y'all call in. And that's when we put a switch over to this live feed. Y'all need somebody to do y'all taxes and trucking. Man, that's what I recommend right there. He got a real office certified license. All right, y'all, forget about it here. Make sure y'all go over there because that's where I'm going right now.